the Oakland Athletics.
Drive to deep center field. Going back, Hernandez at the track, right to the wall. Gone! Elvis Andrus!
And 29 other MLB clubs.
High drive, deep left field. Nino left the building.
Guerrero lifts one to left field and gone.
Oh, Tony, that was a moonshot out there in the right center.
Alonso defends his title, the 2021 Derby champion.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from OPS Plus to juiced balls to game-changing moments. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us next from the town, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to A's Cast Live as we're getting you ready for a day of Major League Baseball here on Friday the 6th. The Athletics obviously going to be starting what is starting to look like a really big grind of the schedule, where we're going to talk to Mark Kotsay, the skipper, about it. But, man, this is not going to be easy. This is what we have today for you. Fran Reardon's going to join us coming up here, the manager of the Las Vegas Aviators. That's going to be at 2:30. Sarah Langs from MLB.com. She's a great follow on Twitter. She's got all the nuggets everybody loves. She's going to be here at 3 o'clock, and then the skipper, Mark Kotsay, at 3:30. Now, we always keep it, as the kids like to say, 100. Commander, how are you?
It's 100, I believe they say.
Whatever they say.
Yes, that's what we're going to try to do today.
So we interviewed Mark Kotsay earlier today. That would have been at 9 a.m., 11 a.m. his time there in the Twin Cities. And we got into it a little bit about the schedule. And I, just going to pull it up my phone real quick. And it's kind of crazy, but this is what happens when, my God, you miss 1 week of baseball and the schedule makers just make it horrible for everybody. The A's are going to play 3 games in Minnesota, not a big deal. Then they're going to play 5 games in 4 days. 5 games in 4 days. Mark is going to tell you coming up here at 3:30, he doesn't remember that ever happening in his career. And then on top of that, where you go, well, that's not that bad. But wait a minute, they're going to come home, take on the Angels, and now that's a doubleheader on Saturday. Now, I'm thinking from a broadcasting standpoint, what, we got that many? We got 2 doubleheaders in a week? I don't remember that ever happening. Mark doesn't remember it happening in his career. I don't remember it happening in my career. So you start thinking the A's, you're talking about 15 games in 13 days. You want to start looking at make or break where you are in your season? I mean, we're looking at it right now. But because they're still in it, Chad Pender said it, hey, we're still fighting, we're still in this thing. You're going to hit bumps in the road. Let's see. And you go and have a good road trip here. It's not like the Bomba squad's been playing great. They've lost 2 in a row. So it's an interesting series for both the Athletics and the Twins. But we first have to start the show really with the gear we got going today. Lansing Lugnuts gear represented today here on A's Cast Live.
You have the shirt. I had the Lansing Locos hat. This is courtesy of our friend Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, who's actually going to be filling in for Ken Korak coming up in Boston. So talk about...
Far more important, you hear him on A's Total Access like every 3 weeks.
Yeah, he does the...
Forget Ken Korak. This is about A's Total Access when we get to have him and he gets to interview a player, a manager, or whatever the heck they got going on in Lansing. But, hey, we got to tell him thank you. My shirt is sweet.
Yeah, you got a hat. I
got the hat too.
I have a shirt that I have at home that I'm not currently wearing. I'm actually wearing a Lights Have Taken Full Effect t-shirt. Thank you. Well, I bought it, but courtesy of our friends at the Last Dive Bar. They weren't a sponsor then. Yeah, no, I bought all the stuff I bought from them.
They're now a sponsor.
Yeah, prior to them being a sponsor, I bought everything I buy from them. And all the proceeds go right into the A's Community Fund and local charities.
I buy everything that I buy from them.
I've bought I've paid for everything I bought from them.
That is your grammar right there, courtesy of the University of California, Pennsylvania.
It's, California University of Pennsylvania. Let's not ruin the. That's not even called that anymore.
Are you sure they even want to count you as a graduate?
I was in there.
I buy everything that I buy from there.
I was in the inaugural 20 under 40 class. They might want to take that banner down.
They want to rethink that?
Yeah, they might want to take that down.
All right. There we go. That's better. Because we want to hopefully let people know, because I know a lot of people are listening, athletics.com/AceCast, but you can also follow us now. We're on YouTube.
Yep, and we're on our A's Cast Twitter page, Athletics Cast 24. So you can catch us there and on YouTube, youtube.com/athletics.
And the cool thing is with everything that we're doing, just to remind people is, if you're listening live or watching live, thank you. We waved you. We appreciate all the support. But it's also something that you're able to download or go back to YouTube, go back to Twitter, and watch throughout the weekend.
Yeah, everything's gonna the last
lives forever, as they like to say.
The last shows we did here from the remote road studio, they're both on YouTube right now. You can watch. I've actually started making some clips from some of this stuff. I actually sent the last promo we did for the last dive bar to the guys, and they loved it. So we have a lot of opportunities to do different things with this, including having different guests on, like we'll have today, all via video, except obviously Mark Kotze, who we talked to at 9 a.m.
There's a lot of interesting things to talk about in Major League Baseball today. We got a lot to get over. There was a horrific collapse by the Philadelphia Phillies bullpen. Stop me if you heard this one, as they are historically bad. And our Mets, I don't know how they became our Mets. When did the Mets become our Mets?
Maybe when Sandy took over. Hold on, we're going to talk about the Mets.
Sandy had nothing to do with it.
Meet the Mets, greet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife.
Bring your kiddies.
Guaranteed to have the time of your life.
Because the Mets are really
Something happened with the Mets that made us like the Mets. I don't know. My buddy Jason Babcock went to Citi Field, got me a Mr. Met hat. My other buddy, Rob Heller, who's from New York, is a big Mets fan. And I always made fun of him in the Mets. So I don't know where the
well, we're big polar bear fans.
No, you are.
Yeah,
I don't know where we became Mets. But if this is not an omen that things are changing in Flushing, if this is not, hey, listen, start buying stock in Queens. When you get off to a great start, whatever issues they have had, Buck Showalter, by the way, is someone you always invest in early, not late. He will wear out his welcome, but it always starts out good. Remember, before Joe Torre, setting up that run for the Yankees was Buck Showalter. Remember, setting up the Diamondbacks to be world champions was Buck Showalter. So he gets you going early and had a pretty good run with the Orioles. So we got to get into that. Some people are starting to make some early let's just say they're making these early, hey, listen, look at me, I could be the MVP guy. Manny Machado in San Diego for Bob Melvin is like, no Nando, Tatis Jr.'s out, everybody hop on this back. Well, Hosmer's played great too, but put everybody on this back because Manny, even though I'm not a big fan of Manny, and I think we all remember some run-ins with the Orioles and Josh Donaldson and kind of remember what Manny was like. And just knowing, talking to people around the league about Manny, I got to say it's been impressive what Manny's doing.
The Padres actually, believe it or not, from when I looked earlier, they have the two guys that lead Major League Baseball batting average. Eric Hosmer is number 1. Manny Machado is number 2. Machado has 7 homers, 20 RBI. You would think that how can I put this? The Padres offense usually struggles, but they're playing well. And Manny looks great. He's a great defender. You know you're going to get defensively. He'll hit home runs, but the 374 batting average. Now, I know I don't care about batting average, but in a year where we need to start caring about batting average because, well, no one can hit.
I don't care about batting average, but we need to start worrying about batting average. You better hope to God you start worrying about batting average. It gets better. Or it's going to be
what is it?
a major
230?
problem.
I think it's 230. I can pull it up. It's 230 league wide, I think.
I'm not going all in on the Padres until I can see them actually compete with the Dodgers and the Giants.
Giants struggling. They're
We're rooting for Bob Melvin. You know we love Bob. I'm not going to buy the Padres until there is the extra wild card, whatever, but I'm not buying Padres until they compete with the Giants. Another interesting series that we can go over a little bit later is that a man that signed a 7-year, $245 million deal after a World Series. Oh, no, DC, they're losing their player, Anthony Rendon. Rendon has sucked. Let's be honest. He hasn't been healthy. He has been terrible. When he has been healthy, he hasn't been good. Look at it. Look at his slash line in DC in 7 years. 290, 369, 490. So that's your batting average, your on base, and your slugging. Fantastic with 136 home runs, 7 years in DC. Since then, stinker. But the good thing for the Halos, everybody around him has been phenomenal. Trout is Mike Trout, one of the greatest players of all time. Last 17 games, off the charts. Ohtani just went into Fenway Park, 7 innings, scoreless baseball, struck out 11. He is still doing what he is doing. And Taylor Ward's better than any of them. 5 bombs, 13 RBIs, 12 runs scored over his last 11 games, hitting 381. Halos are for real. They're 17-10, now taking on the Nationals. Rendon going back. Soto. Funny note about Soto, and you brought this to my attention, then doing the little research. Yeah, Soto's hitting 346, and yeah, last 6 games, and yes, Soto's got a bunch of home runs. They're all what?
Solo home runs, except for, let me look it up. This was going into yesterday, but I remember
all 6 of Soto's homers this season have been solo.
6 solo home runs, 7 RBI on the year.
All 6. Now his team stinks.
That's an
They're 9-18, but there's never. You're trying to tell me there's we don't. I don't watch national games. I see highlights. I'm like you, right? We don't have time to watch everybody's games. Quick pitch. You're trying to tell me no one's ever on base when he's on? Nobody?
It doesn't seem like it because they're struggling. I mean, they're not the Reds bad.
You're telling me if I go over every game log this year, there's never anybody on base, and that the only time he can take advantage of anything is when he's up at the plate by himself.
Let me see how his teammate and Josh Bell has 3 home runs, 19 RBI, and a 356 batting average. So apparently he's stealing all the RBIs from Juan Soto.
He's on an on base of 453. He's on.
Well, look at him. 195 OPS plus. Is that any good?
He's a guy that's getting on, and he's a guy. So a lot of solo jacks for Juan Soto, but yet 23, and obviously very impressive. So there is a lot of stuff we'll get into. We definitely are going to get over. We're definitely going to get into last night's game, Phillies, Mets, and that collapse. It is unreal. It is hard to believe that even happened. But the big news that is coming out of the Twin Cities is Carlos Correa. Carlos Correa has suffered a fractured right middle finger. We could have broke news, by the way, as when we talked to Mark Kotze this morning, asked him about Cole Irvin. We found out this morning we're not in the business anymore of breaking news. Ever since the commander and I left the radio station, went to work for the A's, we're not news breakers, but we've known now for a while, even as of yesterday, and really last day at the yard, that Cole Irvin was going to be going on the IL. So he is on the IL, but no one's making – that's not news to people in baseball. It's Carlos Correa with a fractured middle finger. And, you know, stuff happens. I mean, he was hit by a pitch. But, you know, this has been the knock on Correa and about the long-term deal, because this is an injury that happens during the game and that stuff happens. But then there's also the fractured rib while he's getting a massage. There always seems to be something with this guy.
And he's only 27.
He's always hurt. I mean, no doubt. If you ask me do you want Carlos Correa and do you want him in the postseason? Because when the postseason comes on, he's that dude. He's that guy. When you talk about, you got to have that player that everybody goes, ooh, that guy's on their team. That guy's in the lineup. That guy comes to play. Carlos Correa has had. There's no sample size. There's no small sample size anymore with him in the postseason. This guy's a bad man. You got the postseason numbers.
79 games. He has 18 home runs, 59 RBI, 272 average, and 849 OPS.
He's a bad man. But here's my problem with a 10-year contract and paying him till he's 37. Something always seems to happen to the guy. This one you're not going to put on him because he got hit in his right middle finger during a swing on Thursday. That stuff happens. I mean, he was red hot, hitting .412 over the last 8 games. Got out to a slow start, but he's red hot. But, man, this is the thing about giving somebody who ends up on the IL a lot, whatever your mega deal you want to make him, 8-year, 10-year deal. What we're starting to see, all these deals are ridiculous. And you thought what the Twins did was totally with him 4 years. There's opt-outs. He can get out. They can get out. Everybody can get out.
3 years.
3 years. He can get out. Whatever. It's an opt-out every year for 3 years. It's really a 1-year deal. You have a 1-year deal. Trevor Bauer is a name no one wants to talk about, but that, and for obvious reasons, but that's the kind of deal the Dodgers have been looking to do. They kind of offered the exact same thing. Offered Bryce Harper. That is really the future of baseball. And signing long-term 8-10-year deals is just, you're dumb. You know what? You literally are. Even the great Mike Trout's long-term deals so far has been
Nah.
He's
been hurt.
Well, human beings get hurt. Anybody who ever says, look at the back of the baseball card, do not trust them. Whenever you hear anybody in our business who goes, I'm just going to look at the back of the baseball card. Yeah, you know what? I'll look at the back of the baseball card. And without PEDs, the back of the baseball card says every single guy in the history of the game other than who? Ted Williams?
Yeah.
I mean, Ted Williams at like 39 hit like 39 home runs. Everybody ages and everybody regresses. Do not look at the back of the baseball card. It's a stupid cliche. Every ex-player now, MLB Network, too many of our broadcasters use it, and it's bad. These long-term deals are not good. This for Carlos Correa and this for the Twins is a good deal. That is, to me, smart. You want to talk about GMing? That's smart GMing. What we will see, I've seen our lineup, which we can get into. Our lineup tonight is actually, wow, okay. Sheldon Noisey's leading off tonight. Not a stranger to stealing bags, as we have seen so far this season.
It's 3, right? I think it's 3.
We had 2 in 1 game against the Giants.
I think it's 3 total.
Royce Lewis, who was the 2017. He was a first overall pick in 2017.
Twins top prospect.
Number 44 overall, according to MLB.com. Is going to get called up. Is he in the lineup making his debut?
I'd have to find the Twins lineup, but I can give you his AAA numbers.
Just go to MLB.com. How hard is this?
310 batting average for Lewis in AAA, St. Paul. So we're literally right at home for the Twins top prospect. I'm on MLB.com. Let's see if they've updated it yet.
I know our lineup is in.
Oh, great. Unexpected error has occurred when I clicked on it. Well, I don't want Twins tickets. Why are you bringing? I'm not traveling to Target Field.
You're not going to Target Field?
No.
Yeah, their lineup. What I have on right now, MLB.com, their lineup is not out, so we don't know. But our lineup, interesting. This is a very unique, and it's telling us something. Because let's face it, the A's gotta know where they are right now. You know what? I'm going to tell you next. Where the A's are right now, and what does this lineup tell you? Remember, Fran Reardon coming up here at 2:30. But what does the old lineup tell you? You're going to find out right here on A's Cast Live.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar are helping us celebrate our longtime home. Last Dive Bar has the most unique merchandise for all Oakland baseball fans. T-shirts, sweatshirts, the Ray Fosse line, and my personal favorite, the lights have taken full effect. Visit their website at lastdivebar.com or follow them on social media at Last Dive Bar. All proceeds are invested back into the A's Community Fund and their affiliated charities. Go to lastdivebar.com. That's lastdivebar.com.
Did you know that with Xfinity Internet, you get fast and reliable speeds? Best of all, you could save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill when you add Xfinity Mobile. Can your internet do that?
Check out our amazing deals on Xfinity Internet and choose from one of our fast speed options to fit your needs. Plus, you could save up to $400 a year on wireless when you also get Xfinity Mobile. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today to learn more. Restrictions apply. Compares pricing of top carriers. Xfinity Internet required.
Some things just go together. Peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk, Oakland and Kaiser Permanente. If that last one caught you off guard, it shouldn't, because Kaiser Permanente has been helping keep Oakland healthy since our very beginning. And as the official healthcare partner of the Oakland A's, that won't be changing anytime soon. Whatever you may need, you can trust Kaiser Permanente to help keep you feeling your best. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Visit kp.org today.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
Humanity has accomplished a whole lot so far. We created penicillin, the automobile, and the internet, not to mention drones, duct tape, and the hot dog. It's all thanks to the power of human connections. And Ring Central's here to make that even easier, more seamlessly and securely, on a platform built to grow your business. Say hello to a whole new way to say hello. Visit ringcentral.com and say hello to possibilities. Ring Central. Message, video, phone, together.
Hey Ace fans, we've got a great deal for you. Get 4 tickets and parking for all Friday night games starting at just $39. Pick from great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more.
Outside corner, ring him up. And Eaton can't believe it.
Grab the crew and head to the Coliseum with friends and family any Friday night this season. 4 tickets and parking starting at just $39 for the whole group. Tickets are available at athletics.com. That's athletics.com.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is a national brand with family-owned prices and service. You can shop at one of their Barrie locations, and all stores are sanitized and safe, or you can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Innovation that's at the heart of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students map genes from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
This is Chris Townsend for the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. Great news! Our indoor dining is back, along with our beautiful patio dining. Come taste our world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 83 years. The Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek has one of the most dynamic menus, plus a full bar. Pot pies, gourmet burgers, sandwiches, salads, flatbreads, and more. Don't forget, we still do takeout and delivery. For all the information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
A's Cast Live continues from the town. Here's Chris Townsend.
Well, we actually got something pretty cool here. We have the new, join us as we celebrate Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage at the ballpark on Friday, May 13th. Snag an AAPI hat presented by Cal State East Bay. Get your tickets, athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets. Join us again as we celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage at the ballpark on Friday, May 13th. That's against Shohei Ohtani Mike Trout and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Disneyland, whatever we're calling them now.
Brought to you by
Cal State East Bay.
Cal State East Bay. I got to tell you, this hat is slick. Like, look underneath the bill. This hat is sweet.
I like it. I like the way it looks.
All giveaways are great, especially at the Oakland Coliseum that are put on by the Oakland Athletics. But this one, especially, this hat is sweet. So I got to tell you, this is a must-have if you're an A's fan.
And then what it says something on the side too, right? I didn't see
it says Stop Asian Hate, but I don't know if they can see that. But,
Yeah.
Black and red?
This
is what you wear on Sundays to play golf. Your Tiger Woods, your black and red right there when you're going to win the U.S. Open or the Masters.
So that's going to be
Where
Friday.
Where should we put this? We got to put this. Campy? No offense. No offense, Bert, but you're gonna hold it up here, or we can put it on top of the A's helmet.
There you go, and still has the A's logo on it.
Yeah.
So that's Friday, May 13th.
So this is the hat you get right here.
Yep, Friday, May 13th. Get your tickets. Athletics.com/tickets.
Should I promote another hat?
Oh, is this the Lugnuts hat? The actual Lugnuts hat, not the Locos one.
This is the Lugnuts shirt that I'm wearing, and here's the Lugnuts hat. This is what they wear on game day. It's pretty sweet. Lansing Lugnuts.
That's our high A team. I want to shout out Jesse for sending this to us.
It's great gear. It's a great hat.
Alex Jensen, if you're listening, we're still waiting for Townie's.
By the way, I'm telling you right now, Alex Jensen has gotten more promotion from this organization for being a one-trick hack. And I'm telling you right now, he's on the clock. Because as much as we've made him, we can break him. You know how we do in this country. We build you up, and we'll tear you down.
Yeah, he's doing the broadcast tonight, so everyone listen for errors, tweet him, everything.
If he one mistake, until we get our gear. I want some Stockton Port gear because the Stockton Port gear is slick.
By the way, you know what?
Where all of our affiliates should be sending us stuff. We'll send you stuff, and we'll promote you. We promote you. Do you promote us?
You can put Fran on the spot when he comes on in a few minutes.
I would never do that to one of the greatest managers in the history of mankind.
And one of our good friends, one of the last people we saw before we saw Sandy Alomar in Vegas.
I'm telling you right now, Fran Reardon is a leader of men, a leader of people. If he runs for politics, I'm voting.
I mean,
I don't care. Governor, senator, congressman. He runs for president. Fran Reardon all day long. Fran Reardon gets, his slogan, Fran Reardon gets the job done.
We got to make sure we ask him about Shea Langoliers, Ramon Lauriano, the Buffalo Bills playoff game against the Chiefs because, he's from Buffalo. A lot to get into it, Fran.
I know everybody with Langoliers is getting very fired up.
10 home runs already.
It's Vegas.
He had his first one on the road the other day.
It's Vegas. It doesn't matter. What is
no, that's what I'm saying.
I listen to you people, and it frustrates me. Okay? It frustrates me.
I'm the same.
You fall into the same I don't know. He could be Johnny Bench. I don't know. I've never seen him.
Johnny Bench or him?
Oh, he could be the next Johnny Bench. I don't know. Vegas. Do you want to bring up Sky Bolt? You've seen Sky Bolt at the big league level. Sky Bolt, the next great player in the history of baseball. Bring me up his numbers in Vegas.
Oh,
you want to do that? You want here's Vegas.
Let me get it real quick. We did this the other day. I think we were doing it.
Sky Bolt. Tell me how great Sky Bolt is in Vegas. Got to get him up here. This guy's going to be an all-star.
Hold on. Let me scrolling in Vegas. Let's see. Let's do 2019.
2019, full year.
He had 269 in 89 games with 11 homers, 61 RBI. In 2021, 9 homers, 29 RBI, 387 in
51
games.
387 in Vegas.
In 51 games last year.
What's he done in the big leagues?
I can tell you right now. He's I think he's one home run. One career home run. He hit it last year. 4 RBI, hitting 90.
0.090.
Yeah.
Hitters aren't that good. Pitchers aren't that bad. AAA. Every park is a bandbox. Every park has either super dry weather, elevation. It is all built for offense. Langoliers, is he the next Johnny Bench? I don't know. But don't tell me, hey, look what he's doing in the big leagues, because he comes up here and hits $120, and then we're all like, we'll send him back down. I don't know. Just pump the brakes.
Well, all I was saying is he hit his first road home run. So that's
and
what I'm
where
saying.
Was it?
Sacramento, I think.
Yeah, because Sacramento is a freezing cold weather place. I mean, every place is elevation. It's warm. The ball flies.
Yeah, the Pacific Coast League isn't.
It's an offensive league.
It's very friendly to the players. Not friendly to the pitchers.
It's like it's like a league that took its own steroids.
It's a good way to put it. I mean, we've seen a lot.
Everything is you can't trust anything. It's unbelievable. Do we have the great Fran Reardon?
Oh, hey.
What is happening? How are you?
I'm good. I'm just sitting in the office here in Sacramento, getting ready for another game.
What do you think of the new A's Cast Live set?
It's pretty sweet. I never saw the old one, but I love the tribute to Ray there, and it looks pretty sharp digs.
You know, the old one looks like a bad, it was like spit cups and beers and stuff like that. So we've cleaned it up a little bit here. And we were just talking about it because we had Sandy Alomar Jr. on the program. And the last time we saw him was right before the whole COVID outbreak. And then it was the same thing with you because we interviewed you right after him. And then, of course, we got to talk to you, the alternate site, and obviously last year. But it's the first time seeing you, so it's great to see. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while, and it's good to kind of get a sense of normalcy back where we can do these things again.
How's the season going so far for you guys down there?
It's been great. It's been a little bit of a whirlwind. We've had a lot of personnel moves and a lot of roster flux, but I tell you what, we're having a lot of fun here, and there's some guys that are really performing, and looking forward to helping Oakland here in the near future.
Yeah, you start thinking about utilizing the 40-man roster. When Ramon Lauriano comes up, I think it's going to be now 38 players from the 40-man have been used. Have you ever seen something like this?
I haven't, but you know what? It's exciting, and it's a land of opportunity now, and I think there's still a lot of energy within the entire organization. I know there's still a lot of energy in the big leagues, and it's kind of a fun time for guys to make names for themselves.
Yeah, so when you start thinking about that land of opportunity, because we've talked about that for years, like if you get traded, you get signed, you can be a minor league Rule 5, whatever. You know that when you come and sign with the A's that you're going to have a chance to get to the big leagues. And we've talked to you before how it's the greatest conversation. The biggest part of your job is to tell a guy that he's going to the big leagues. Just what does that mean? And just remind our fan base that when guys come over, they understand, and when they play for you, they understand you're not blocked. You produce, you'll have an opportunity to get to the big leagues.
Well, it's been like that in AAA with Oakland since I started managing in 2018 at the AAA level, and to me, it's a beautiful thing because a big reason we get so many really good minor league free agents, major league free agents, international free agents to come here is because they see the opportunity, they know the opportunity, and I think Oakland in general does a great job of providing players with an atmosphere where they can go and be the best versions of themselves. And a lot of players in the last 4 or 5 years have taken advantage of that opportunity. And then from my perspective, to get to be able to tell them that they're going to the big leagues for the first time or back to the big leagues in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, definitely one of the most rewarding parts of the job.
Ramon Lauriano, when we saw him down at spring training, you could just tell he was like, Townie, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. We've known him now for years, and he's got that fighter's mentality. I mean, he's the one guy I've ever seen challenge an entire dugout. He went after that Astros dugout. It was him against the world. It was awesome to see. I know the A's didn't love it, but it just showed his fighting spirit. He's down there with you. He's like a bull in a china shop. How are you controlling him right now? Because he wants to be back here so bad.
Well, you know what? Just letting him get his energy out on the field. And like you said, he's a fighter. He's just a ball of intensity, a ball of fire, and he wants to win. He'll do anything to win, and he's always been like that. I first saw Ramon playing for Corpus Christi in 2017, and the guy just jumps off the field with his intensity and the way he plays the game. And when we got him over to Oakland, I knew it was going to be a great fit, and he's done nothing but great things on the field since he showed up. So I know he's chomping at the bit to get back, and tonight's his last game with us before he heads to Minnesota to join the big league team.
Yeah, we haven't gotten his travel schedule, so I was wondering, is he still there or not? And I said to Mark Kotze earlier today for the Mark Kotze show, I said, Kotz, I know how you were, and I know how he is. There's no way he's showing up in Minnesota and you're keeping him out of the lineup. He'll drive you nuts in the dugout. So wouldn't you say, I think on Sunday we'll see Ramon in the lineup?
I mean, that's a little bit outside of the realm of what I would deal with. But, if I'm Kotz, I'm putting him in there because, he's going to be like a little puppy by his hip the whole game.
Shea Langolier is putting up some huge numbers. And of course, you know how A's fans are. They see the numbers, call him up. And we know he's a big deal coming over from the Atlanta Braves in the Matt Olsen trade. So tell us, we've seen highlights. Tell us what he is offensively. Tell us defensively, how he calls a game, how he throws. What is the package that's down there in AAA right now?
All right, so the first thing I'm going to tell you about Shea is something that you're not going to be expecting to hear, and that's the fact that he is very fast.
A catcher.
Yeah. I'm not even going to say he's very fast for a catcher. I think Statcast has him rated as our one of our top 3 runners down the line. Home to first.
Wow.
So that's just kind of a interesting tidbit about him. The guy can really run. Offensively, you're looking at a guy in 24 game sample that has 10 home runs, is leading all AAA in OPS and slugging, and up there in extra base hits, total bases, RBIs, home runs, pretty much every offensive category that matters. And, for him to be doing it and then catching, 95% of our games, and the physical toll that takes is even more impressive. So pretty much he's shown that he's the whole package for the first month of the season, and he's just a joy to watch play every day. I can't think of anything that he doesn't do at a really, really high level, and that includes his off the field preparation, his game planning, his game calling, the way he receives, the way he throws. He's an elite thrower, and he's a great receiver. So when you're talking about what could be one of the better catchers in the major leagues in the next couple of years, Shea Langolier has to be one of the first guys you think of.
Yeah, that is. You talk about the high praise, and I know it's a question that you get, and it's not really fair, is when someone says, all right, has he done enough? Is he somebody that's ready for the big leagues? You never know until someone gets here. Would you look at this player with his success and say, yeah, big league ready?
I would, in a small sample, and small samples can trick you sometimes with guys that have fringy talent or fringy makeup, but guys that have elite talent and elite makeup, the short sample size tends to grow a little bit into, what you may have with this guy down the line. And from where I sit every night, he's big league ready. But those are decisions that other people, will make when the time is right, based on what's the best for our team and what's the best for Shea Langolier.
When a guy has gotten the taste of the big leagues and he's sent back down, obviously major disappointment. You understand it. Everybody understands it. How do you handle those situations? And is it really a case by case how you handle it?
It's definitely a case by case. And it matters the kind of previous relationship I have with a player. Have I managed him in lower levels? Have I managed him in AAA? Is he a free agent that I really don't know, that I just got to meet in spring training, that I'm not very close with? But I think just having a frank conversation and, getting feedback about what they've been told from the major league staff that they need to work on, hearing that verbalized from the player is always important. And then asking the player himself, hey, okay, so you got sent down. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to get back up? And how are you going to stay there once you get back up? And the reasons that you give me are going to be the reasons, the things that you need to work on while you're here. And there's going to be accountability when you tell me these things. And I think that if you just have those frank conversations in the first couple of days that a guy gets sent back, then, there's purpose again, there's motivation again. And if there isn't, then there's not much I can do from my end. That's on the player. But I think the guys understand when they get, sent back, sent down, that the stakes are still so high that they're not going to stop. They're not going to, be bitter and disgruntled and not do things the right way, because they're professionals. And they know that if they want to get back to where they want to be, then they're going to have to keep on being professionals and keep on honing their games.
So I look at Nick Allen. We got to know him while he was up here, sent back down. You could tell there's a lot of great qualities there. Don't worry about the size. He's got speed. He's got hands. He's got a lot of instincts. He's got some moxie in him. What do you expect from him now that he's come back down to you to try and get him back up here?
Well, I expect him to be the same guy he was before he left, the same guy he was at the alternate site in 2020, the same guy he was as an Olympian last year, as a rockhound, as an aviator, and he's the same. He's somebody that is tireless in his work ethic and his hunger to get better. His confidence is never wavered and never will, because he knows he's a big leaguer and he knows he'll be back and he knows he's going to have a great career. So as a manager, just having that trust in guys like Nick that do everything right, you don't have to worry about any sort of letdown or any woe is me moments, because he's going to be the same guy. And that's a pretty special trait to have.
Well, throughout the year, we're going to see a lot of player movement, and that's kind of exciting for A's fans from a standpoint of, okay, we've dubbed this the year of discovery, so we want to see who's going to help win games now, who's going to help win games in the future. So tell us a couple guys on your squad who may not be household names that will be here this year, and they're going to help this ball club.
Yeah, I think we have a few guys like that. I mean, Mickey Mcdonald got his first taste of the big leagues, and he's a guy who's constantly been banging doors down as a non-prospect throughout his entire career. So for him to get that opportunity, if albeit a short one at the major league level, was a huge boost in his confidence. We have a guy, Dermis Garcia, who we picked up from the Yankees, a minor league free agent that started off a little bit slow and then got on a little tear, then had a slight oblique, but he showed a lot of promise in a pretty short period of time. And then a couple guys that you're familiar with, the Drew Jackson, the Christian Lopes of the world. They've done nothing but great things since they came to spring training or came to minicamp even before spring training started. So there's some players that are here that are pretty close to being able to go back up and help the big league team. And that's what our goal is every day here.
Let's end on this. Normalcy hasn't gotten back to all of us, no question. But how close for you guys in Las Vegas with the Aviators do you have as much as you possibly can have?
I mean, based on the circumstances of the last 2 years, yes. People are still careful. People still understand that there's a lot of suffering in the world going on because of what's happened the last 2 years with the pandemic. And I don't think that's going to go away from people's minds for quite some time. And it affects the players. It affects the front offices. But now, and since the season started, so much less than in the previous 2 years. And just kind of climbing towards that light where things are 100% back to normal is, I think something that everybody looks forward to.
Well, you have a standing invite when you're back in the Bay Area. I know you got up to play Center Bar Hills Golf Club. We've got the invite for you. I'm a member up there. So whenever we can get you back in town, get you back on the links, we'd love to have you up here.
It's one of my favorite courses. So I'm all in as soon as I get back up that way.
Well, hey, keep doing what you're doing, and we'll check in soon, and be well. You take care, my friend.
All right. Good catching up.
The great Fran Reardon right here on A's Cast Live, as Fran is a leader of men, as we like to say. Christian Lopes, as he talked about, there's a lot of great stories down there at AAA. And guys that are going back down that don't be shocked. Austin Allen, Shea Langolier, that's an interesting scouting report, great athlete, which tells me, okay, 6 feet, 205. So many people are like, well, what are you going to do? You got Sean Murphy and you got,
DH.
Outfield.
Yeah.
He's one of your fastest guys. Yeah. Has this guy played? I've never.
I'll look it up.
I've never looked before. Has he played outfield before?
Because when Fran mentioned speed, I thought of two catchers that had speed. Well,
Craig Biggio
and Jason Kendall, when he was younger, had speed. More modern wise. I'm not like Biggio, but I mean,
yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, he could move. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, well, I mean, not a lot of catchers can move.
I'm not saying he could like run. Like Pudge Rodriguez could run.
Let's see. Let's see if I can find positions for Shea. It looks like he just mainly plays. Oh no, wait. And in college at Baylor, he played in the outfield a few games.
There you go.
He has experience in the outfield.
Hey, Wash, how hard is it to teach a guy to play outfield?
It's incredibly hard.
Don't worry about it. We'll teach you. Yeah, I mean, that's...
His fielding does not matter.
Nope. If he swings like this, I mean, Soderstrom.
I mean, he's playing first base a little bit now.
Yeah. I mean, if he's an athlete, I mean, he played shortstop, right, in high school?
Yeah, he's a all-around great athlete. I don't know how fast
I still don't get it. His dad was Steve Soderstrom at Fresno State. His son now is Soderstrom. In college, we call it, because I played against his dad, it was Soderstrom. I drank beers with his dad when his dad was a San Jose Giant, right? He was Soderstrom, but now he goes by Soderstrom. I don't get it, but Soderstrom. Yeah. You got athletes. You're drafting athletes. You don't draft for the position. I mean, Tyler, you're playing first. Shea, grab a glove. You're going to left field. You need bats. You need athletes and bats. We'll find a place to put you.
He's a good command of the strike zone, too. He's 19 strikeouts and 15 walks. It's not bad. No. Fran said he can run. I'm not doubting Fran manages a baseball team.
Fran just didn't say he could run. He said StatCast says he can run. So that's a whole – so he's being tracked with the other players. He's one of the fastest players on the AAA team. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, no steals, but how many doubles does he have, though? 4 doubles. So, I mean, in 88 at-bats, he's 4 doubles and 10 home runs. That's 14 extra base hits. I know you don't have to run around the bases like Adam Rosales when he had a home run, but still, I mean, if he can move, you can definitely shift him around in different positions in the outfield and catching. That could be a huge asset we know that the A's like flexibility more than anybody besides maybe the Rays and the Giants now. So having him play multiple positions could be great.
All right, I'm going to say I don't care about your flex. I need people who can hit. I need people who can run, people who can hit. I need athletes. You want to win? You want to win at this level? We've already seen ball go far, team go far. Well, that doesn't go far in the playoffs. May get you sniffing it and may get you in. Not going to get you far. You need guys that can swing it and guys who are athletes. That helps you defensively, helps you offensively. You got to be able to take bases. Yes, you got to be able to hit for power, but loading up the beer softball league team and just going that route, I mean, Yankees would win it every year. Well, the Yankees, let's face it, they've won 10 in a row?
Did they play yesterday? If they didn't play yesterday, then it's been 10 in a row.
I don't think they played yesterday.
Yeah, it's 10. They've like 21 home runs during that stretch. There's a reason why.
But let's be honest, and they took a lot of criticism this year because the Yankees have spent how many billions of dollars without getting a title? 2009 now is a long time away.
Yeah, let's just name some of the guys they signed. Garrett Cole. Well, they inherited Stanton's contract. There's been a lot of guys.
Whoa, the streak's over. They lost.
Who'd they lose to?
Did they lose today? Did they have a day game? You can't even keep up with the schedule because people are playing double headers out of nowhere. Like the other day, I'm looking at old Bob Melvin and the Padres, and they beat the Guardians. Next, they're the up on the scoreboard again. They're playing a double header.
Yankees game postponed today against the Rangers, so they would have lost. They had to have lost yesterday then. No, they didn't even play yesterday. So it was Wednesday they lost. Let's see, who were they even playing? I don't remember.
Toronto. Oh, that's right. The Matt Chapman played Vlad Jr. He made the scoop and went nuts.
They lost 2-1.
So they're a great example of getting big dudes, hitting home runs. This is what we're going to value, right? We're going to value the 3 true outcome player. That's why they got Joey Gallo. Gets on base, hits home runs, right? It's like still trying to play the Moneyball deal. Doesn't work. Well, Chris, they made it to they can make the playoffs. True. Are you going to win the World Series? They haven't won since 2009. Their payroll's been their payroll's been over $200 million every year since then, right?
Yeah, still is right now.
Well, what's start thinking about that. 200 plus, 200 plus, 200 plus, well, 5 years, that's $1 billion. Throw in another 5 years, another. They've spent over $2 billion in salary and have not won. And I'm not counting 40-man salary either. They've spent well over $2 billion and have not won a World Series and haven't even been to one.
Well, remember, if it wasn't
I'm
for
not
the
taking
2017
your sarcasm.
Astros.
I'm being serious here.
No, you're right.
They have spent over $2 billion in salary and have not reached the playoffs. You want to sell me team goes far, ball goes far, ball goes far, team goes far? I'm not buying it. Not buying it. Not buying it. If you don't play solid baseball, which is, yes, hitting some home runs. Yes, getting extra base hits. Yes, walking. But it's playing good defense. It is your pitching. It is having a lockdown bullpen. It is how you run the bases. This is how a team just has to get hot and get in and win the World Series. A la who? We've seen the Nationals do it. We saw the Braves do it last year. Are we really going to look at the Nationals and the Braves as two of the greatest teams who have ever walked the earth in baseball history? No. But by the time they got to when it mattered, the postseason, their all-around game was solid, and these teams that are built on walks and home runs, they go bye-bye. Bye-bye. You don't win the World Series.
How many in a row is it for the Twins in the postseason? 18? 18 in a row they've lost? 18 postseason games?
To be fair, though, we can't say all those teams were built the same.
But
lately they've been built on the home run, and if you're built on the home run, how does that work for you?
Third most home runs in baseball since 2019. That's only the Yankees and Dodgers are ahead of them.
You might see that on NBC Sports California on the WebEx Chris Townsend pregame show hit today.
Yeah, it's a great stat. I'm glad your research team found that.
My research team, Cody and my notes here. This is our research team. Let's face it. The home run does not equate to success in the postseason. Safe to say that?
You mentioned everyone that's relied on it.
We can look across the bay at our friends, the Giants.
Yeah, they were one of the best last year.
Didn't win.
They lost in the first round.
But when they won the 3 World Series, were they ever even remotely one of the top home run teams?
Not even close.
How about the Kansas City Royals, who won it and could have won if it was for Madison Bumgarner? They were a contact hitting team. They didn't hit home runs at all.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
It's correct. They were.
What year was that? 14, 15?
They won in 15.
Right? So they lost to the Giants in 14.
And they won in 15.
Oh, man, time flies.
I know. That was 7 years ago.
Time flies.
Look at them now. Now they can't even scratch above 500.
But do not equate home runs with winning. It may help you in the regular season. But postseason, all you got to do, you playing a 5 or 7 game series against a team that's throwing the ball well, and all you try and do is walk and hit home runs. Well, all of a sudden, this pitching staff throws strikes, so that negates all your walks. And then now you're just striking out instead of walking and hitting home runs. You're striking out a lot. And it's bye-bye. You had a great 162. Where are you in the postseason? Bye-bye. How many teams? I don't know the answer. And you know what? I'm going to throw it out there. I could be wrong. But how many teams over the last X amount of years were the team that hit the most home runs and won the World Series?
I'd have to pull up Fangraphs, but I could find that.
Or you just do it off ESPN.com stats.
Yeah.
I don't want you to do it. We'll look at it later. But I just know that Braves and Nationals didn't lead the league in home runs.
The Braves were in the top 3 last year, though.
But they didn't lead. You got to lead.
Yeah.
Did the Dodgers lead in the shortened COVID year?
Here, I can find that. What was that, 2020?
Yeah.
2020, the leader in home runs that year, team-wise, was the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Okay. Can't take that one.
All right, so let's look at 2021. Who won the World Series last year?
The Braves.
The Braves.
No, they weren't.
Braves were third. It was Jays and Giants.
Okay, so
Jays didn't even make the playoffs.
2019.
Well, Twins and Yankees.
Okay, 2018.
Maybe Boston because they won the World Series. I don't know. They were probably in the top 5. Yankees, Dodgers, A's, Brewers, Blue Jays. The Red Sox were actually 9th.
Wait a minute. I thought you had to hit the most home runs to win. Ball go far, team go far. A's were 3rd in baseball. Did the A's make the World Series that year?
No, they made the
All right, 2017.
They made the wild card game. 1 second. That was the Astros World Series year.
There's no way they led in home runs.
They were 2nd.
Yeah, they
Yankees led.
All right, so we've had 1, and it was in a COVID year. 16.
That would have been.
Show me leading the league in home runs produces
The
the World
Baltimore Orioles.
What? The Orioles led in 2016?
Why am I drawing a blank? I'm usually good at naming every World Series champion, but who won in 2016?
Who was the year after the Royals?
It was the. Now I'm going to
look at this list, by the way, in 2016 to prove my point even further. Orioles, Cardinals, Mariners, Blue Jays, Mets, Rays, Rangers. These teams sound like major playoff teams. Tigers.
Who won the World Series that year? Oh, the Cubs.
Where are they? They're 13th. The team in 2016 was 13th. All right. We already know in 15 and 14, the World Series champion did not lead in home runs.
Yeah, let's just see where the Royals were. This is Major League Baseball overall, not just the American League or the National League. The Kansas City Royals in 2015 were 24th in home runs, 139.
Give me the Giants in 2014.
And the Giants in 2014, let's get there. They were Orioles led baseball again. Buck Showalter's team.
Giants were 17th.
17th with 132.
I'm not seeing a correlation at all other than a outlier year of a COVID 60-game schedule where the team that hit the most home runs won the World Series. Go to 13. When's the last? I mean, you're now we're now looking at some years, Cody.
Yeah, well, was home runs. Home runs were always valued, but the numbers weren't always as skewed. The Orioles again.
Orioles again. Go to 2012.
Mariners and A's.
Yep. How'd the A's do?
They lost in the ALDS. 2012 was the Giants. See where they ranked.
No way they led in home runs.
They were dead last.
Team that won the World Series dead last in home runs, huh? This is my data, my data machine.
All right, we'll do 2 more years and then we can.
Because this is now not a small sample size.
Yeah, 2011 that would have been the Cardinals.
It's not the Yankees who led baseball.
Yeah, the Cardinals won the World Series that year.
And look at these teams are leading baseball with 222.
That's
right. We're now got teams hitting 300. Back just 2011, Yankees led with 2022.
Yeah.
Now we're getting over 300.
The Giants here, they won the World Series with 103 home runs.
Do you see what the heck is wrong with baseball now?
2010, the last year the Giants won the World Series, they were 10th. So they had some home run hitters that year.
So since 2010, we'll stop there. Since 2010, we've only had one team lead the league in home runs and win, and it was in a 60-game schedule.
Yeah, I think the Brewers lead baseball right now because they hit like 1,000 home runs in the past few games against the Reds.
Stop with your 3 true outcome team. You want your 3 true outcome team? Good luck. May get you to the postseason, but I'm not seeing in the last 12 years it gets you a win. Right? Just not seeing it.
It hasn't. Again, ask teams like the Twins and Yankees.
Coming up next, we'll talk to Sarah Langs from MLB.com right here on A's Cast Live.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
August 6th is International Trading Card Day, and Topps wants to celebrate with you. Visit your participating local hobby shop, where you will receive a free pack of cards, plus a special card if you purchase $10 or more of Topps products, while supplies last. Post your packs on social media using the hashtag ToppsITCD and follow along with @Topps. Visit Topps.com for more information. Hey, Ace fans, we've got a great deal for you. Get 4 tickets and parking for all Friday night games starting at just $39. Pick from great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more.
Outside corner, ring him up. And Eaton can't believe it.
Grab the crew and head to the Coliseum with friends and family any Friday night this season. 4 tickets and parking starting at just $39 for the whole group. Tickets are available at athletics.com. That's athletics.com.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar are helping us celebrate our longtime home. Last Dive Bar has the most unique merchandise for all Oakland baseball fans. T-shirts, sweatshirts, the Ray Fosse line, and my personal favorite, the lights have taken full effect. Visit their website at lastdivebar.com or follow them on social media at Last Dive Bar. All proceeds are invested back into the A's Community Fund and their affiliated charities. Go to lastdivebar.com. That's lastdivebar.com.
Innovation is at the heart of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students map genes from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
Some things just go together. Peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk, Oakland and Kaiser Permanente. If that last one caught you off guard, it shouldn't, because Kaiser Permanente has been helping keep Oakland healthy since our very beginning. And as the official healthcare partner of the Oakland A's, that won't be changing anytime soon. Whatever you may need, you can trust Kaiser Permanente to help keep you feeling your best. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Visit kp.org today.
Streaming from the East Bay, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Well, she once said, you guys will just be a little streaming show. That's all you're ever going to be. Well, guess what, Sarah Langs? We have stepped our game up. What do you think?
I never said that. Oh, my gosh. I was just texting Cody before. I love your setup. I'm staring in at my screen to see all these bobbleheads and mugs and everything. This is amazing.
This is our next giveaway right here.
Oh, my gosh. That's awesome. I love it. Love this setup.
And it's amazing, all the stuff that I just had all this in my garage all these years. And then when we decided, let's just put, I've had all these I got so many jerseys. And what we're going to do with the sidewall is we're going to turn this into a fan wall and let fans send us stuff and just have it grow and be interactive. But yeah, so for the first, because everybody's always been interested in how do you guys do it? What does it look like? We said, you know what, let's put this thing on video so we can be on YouTube and be on Twitter. And so they can see you, because we've always gotten to see you, but the fans haven't. Obviously they get to see on MLB Network, but now they can see you.
This is awesome. I love this for you guys. It's so cool. And you're so right. I feel like being a sports fan, being a sports person, you have so many giveaways and items and trinkets. So it's great to have somewhere to put it. I'm staring across the room at a handful of bobbleheads I have from covering games a few years ago, and giveaway texting gloves and helmet cups and everything. So having somewhere to put all that is amazing and a great use of it.
Yeah, I was thinking about one day what I'll do is just put all the different unique hats. Because nowadays we have Mother's Day, Father's Day, breast cancer, prostate cancer. We do all the Memorial Day. We do all these different hats. I think one day I'm just going to put all these different hats that I've collected over time, that I have golf hats, Titleist Days hats, and just we can constantly switch it out and keep it fresh, which I think will be a lot of fun.
I love it. Redecorating whenever you want to.
All right, back last night on the East Coast, you saw something that you just don't see very often. Now, you might say if you're a Phillies fan, we've been seeing this for the past couple of years, but my God, that comeback by the Mets, that was flat out historic.
Oh my goodness. So they were trailing 7-1 entering the ninth inning in Philly. And I do need to mention the Phillies wearing their epic Throwback Thursday
Love
blues.
those. Yeah.
I love those jerseys. Todd Radom, who's like a uniform and logo expert, has pointed out to me that when they wore those were actually road uniforms, I guess. So it's a little incongruous that they wear them at home, but we give them, a free pass because those are beautiful. They're no Kelly Greens, but they're really, really nice. So anyway.
Well, you know what it does? It makes us think of like our childhood, right? Makes you think of Mike Schmidt, Larry Boa, Pete Rose, and like Vaughn Hayes and that group. And there was that time when, the Royals wore blue, the Phillies wore blue. It was the 80s, and that's when I grew up a baseball fan. So whenever I see those with the red P, it makes me think of when I was a kid.
No, they're so great. And Joe Girardi was wearing a sweatshirt that was made like the 2022 sweatshirts with the different colored sleeves that are different from the bodice of the sweatshirt. So he was wearing that in Throwback Thursday blue yesterday, and it was impeccable. But anyway, there was also a baseball game. And so the Mets enter the ninth. They're trailing 7-1. Taijuan Walker got kind of lit up in the first few innings. He ended up going, I think, 5 innings, which was good for the bullpen, give them some rest. But he didn't look great. They didn't look great just across the board. They end up coming back and winning that game. They were trailing by 6, entering the ninth, go on to win the game. It's just one of these crazy things that everything has happened before, but it hasn't happened all that often. So the last time the Mets trailed by 6, entering the ninth in a game and won the game was in 1997. And the Phillies, in their entire history, this was the 5th time they'd blown a lead like that. And their history goes back to the 1800s. So just a crazy, crazy game to be watching.
I mean, well, put it this way, Phillies, same old, same old. They thought, Dave Dombrowski thought, I'm fixing this bullpen. This is what we really need to do. And obviously, long way to go, though. But on the Mets side, already a good start. Look, everybody's got confidence. Owners willing to spend money. Owners willing to eat Cano's money. Hey, we're about winning. Buck Showalter, we know, whether it was Yankees, D-backs, Orioles, it always starts out great. But is this one of those wins where you go, this is an omen? This could be the Mets year.
It really feels like it could be. You don't want to overreact to a May 5th win, but this is a team that also had another 5-run ninth inning, in St. Louis like 2 weeks ago. They were only trailing, I think, by 3, but Nolan Arenado had an errant throw, was rolled a hit. Paul Goldschmidt made a bad play. I mean, that's 2 Gold Glovers making plays that they make 99 out of 100 times. And you were starting to get the sense with this Mets team that maybe they're getting things that go their way that, I mean, I grew up a Mets fan. They don't usually go their way, but here they are with 2 wins like that. They had a no-hitter last Friday. It was a combined no-hitter. It's kind of a different thing, but all of these things are not usually on the early, first month plus checklist for the New York Mets. So it's starting to feel like one of those teams. I still have some questions about their offense. They don't hit the ball very hard. You and I have talked about this, and I talk about this pretty much whoever I talk with, that we talk about hitting the ball hard because you get better results. And I do think offensively in the power department, there are some questions, but hey, they scored 7 runs in the ninth to go ahead in that game. So no question about the offense on May 5th. That's for sure.
Well, if you can find it, I'm sure you can if you research it on Google, but they have it's a Mets tragedy bracket, right? It's like the college basketball bracket. It has all the crazy things that have happened in Mets history. It's really one of the most thought out, funny things I've ever seen. And as a Mets fan, it has to make you chuckle. I mean, they've got stuff with like Dwight Gooden and David Cohn, and they got stuff that goes all the way back to the Miracle Mets, but just stuff that's happened in Mets history that I don't know how many franchises. That's why it's like you got to enjoy what you got going right now, because I don't know how many franchises have had that much screwed up stuff that you could put in a bracket of 64. Right?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think all these franchises kind of go through waves, but there's no question that the Mets kind of carry something with them. People seem to perceive, but you mentioned what happened with Robinson Cano, them making the correct baseball decision regardless of money. And I think that was a really good example of how this team is different under Steve Cohen. And that sort of ends up trickling down to the field. That is an off the field decision in that, okay, we're not going to continue with this contract. But it allows a guy like Dom Smith, J.D. Davis, Travis Jankowski, all of these guys to retain their jobs at the major league level and continue to contribute. And the Mets 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I can't speak to 20 or 25 years ago under prior ownership, but certainly in recent memory would not have necessarily made that choice, but it was the right baseball choice. No disrespect to Robinson Cano, the individual, any of that, but just based on the results. And, I think that is the anti of the bracket you're talking about. I mean, it really feels like a tide is turning. And I think the Mets fans in my life would say that when DeGrom got hurt in spring training, it was okay, same old Mets, But I think that they're showing that it's not quite that simple and that this is sort of a new dawning for this club right now.
Obviously, great talk other than that in baseball is what happened at Fenway Park with Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher. And Joe Madden said after where he goes, yeah, see, I tell him not to run the bases hard because he's more valuable as a pitcher to us than he is a hitter. And I go, I am so tired, Sarah, of everybody talking out both sides of their mouth. Everybody does it. I hear it on with our team, all these other teams. You're not going to allow any starter to go deep in any game that's meaningful, especially in the postseason. All right, so if you're going to have Shohei Ohtani go out there and pitch 4 innings, you're going to pull him because you don't want him facing the lineup the third time around in a postseason game. So don't tell me he's not more valuable than a hitter who's going to hit 4 to 5 times in every postseason game if it's a 5 or 7 game series. So we can say whatever we want when a pitcher does something, and these managers will talk about the starting pitcher, but the data shows us no one trusts starting pitching anymore, especially in the postseason. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, I don't have it in front of me right now, but I know it took a very long time for us to see a starter go deep into a game in the postseason last year. I believe the last complete game in the postseason is still Kershaw in 2020. In that first Brewers game, or maybe there was one toward the end of last year, maybe Luis Garcia. I'm not sure. But overall, we're certainly not seeing it. And it does have to do with numbers. It does have to do with the fact that, guys see a pitcher for the third time and they get acclimated to them for sure. But to Ohtani's credit, I mean, he was out there for 7 innings yesterday. He did go deep into that game. And I do think that teams are seeing that if you have a starter who can go deep and who you do trust to, and I agree the list is a lot shorter than it used to be, that it is a competitive advantage. I was just looking at Sling earlier. Teams are winning at a 714 winning percentage clip when they get a quality start this year. So part of a quality start is you have to go at least those innings, right? And last year was 686. So it is a decent difference. It's early in the year, but it is a decent difference where if you do have a starter, you trust to go deep and you trust to go deep and not give up like 10 runs, that it is going to benefit you. But I certainly agree that postseason baseball is certainly not, Chrissy Mathewson throwing 3 shutouts to start his postseason career, something like that. And, these guys coming out, Bob Gibson, whoever else you want to pick, and throwing complete games and shutouts. But, also these relievers are really good. And I do want to give credit. We're talking about October. I mean, we're talking about some high leverage, really accomplished relievers who it's really cool to see them do their job.
All right, let's switch over to the National League West, which is really interesting right now as we speak when we're having you on, because a lot of people will come back and watch this. That's a great thing about streaming and being on social media platforms, that we'll have people watch this tonight, Saturday, Sunday. So when we're doing this interview, Dodgers have the lead over the Padres by a half game, 2 games over the Rockies, 3 games over the Giants. Torey Lovullo, our guy, our buddy, former manager of the D-backs, look out. The Snakes have won 3 in a row. They're only 4.5 back at 500. A very, bunched division. How do you view the NL West so far? Who you buying and who you not buying long term?
Obviously buying the Dodgers, always buying the Dodgers right into eternity. I think that Freddie Freeman gives them a sort of lineup stability that they didn't really have the last few years. I mean, it totally worked, but this was a team where the lineup would look entirely different day to day. And I think having Freddie Freeman, having him at first base, him being the first baseman, not a Max Muncy who can play in a couple different places, has really helped stabilize that team. And I mean, they're so much fun to watch. They're just so good. And they have Hanser Alberto in the dugout. He's kind of their backup's backup, but he's, the heart and soul of the team, leading all of the cheers and celebrations when someone gets a second, hits home run, anything like that. So absolutely buying them. And the Padres have been a bit better than I expected them to be before Tatis gets back. Machado hit 2 home runs yesterday. Generally, the pitching has been reliable enough, which was kind of my concern. Mike Flevinger just finally made it back. It was so great.
It was good to see, right?
Oh my gosh. I mean, just so emotionally. He talked about how he wasn't sure he was ever going to play again. Yeah. And he got to do it against his buddy Plesac too, which was pretty cool, just from a storyline perspective. But I think, Yu Darvish, such an up and down first few starts, but overall, I think their pitching's been good. I'm sorry, Colorado, but I'm not buying the Rockies. It just
Buddy Black, he's such a good guy. Come on, Chris Bryant.
Nothing against Bud Black, nothing against Chris Bryant or CJ Cron, who is one of my favorite players to watch right now, because Cron standing at home plate at Coors Field is like an automatic home run, which is amazing and so much fun to watch. But, pitching is always a concern there. And overall, I just don't know if that team is built to compete over 162. But hey, they've already put up a fight. It's interesting. It's fun. And, the Giants, it's been so back and forth. I think Alex Wood said the other day, hey, we're not going to win 107 games every year. And, I think some of the beat reporters were talking about, obviously that's true. But it's pretty early in the season to say it. But, we can tell this isn't that Buster Posey final season, though we didn't know it at the time, kind of magical year for them. But I do think they're good. They've had a really rough run with pitching lately. Alex Cobb was pitching great, got hurt, came back, gave up like 5 runs in his first game off the IL. Anthony DeSclafani has had issues and so on and so forth. I think if they can stabilize pitching-wise, they'll be okay. And Carlos Rodon has been so good for them, which is just a great story too. I mean, the guy was non-tendered, ends up back with the White Sox, pitches his heart out last year, gets hurt in that postseason series, or seems to be hurt, has a velo drop-off, whatever you want to say, but he's back and pitching so well.
Now we switch over to the American League West. Same kind of thing. You just wonder, is the pitching there? The offense should be there if everybody stays healthy, with the Angels leading by a game and a half over the Astros, who have won 4 straight. Mariners have come back, having lost 4 straight. Rangers have won 4 straight, but they were so bad, they're still just 10-14. Obviously, the Athletics, at this point, we're doing the interview, have lost 6 in a row. Hopefully, we'll get off of that in Minnesota tonight at Target Field. But we know you can buy the Astros, but are you buying the Halos long term?
It is so difficult. I have this conversation practically every day at work where, just as objective baseball fans, and I know you guys are different, you're in the division, but I think anyone. I know. So I understand. I'm not
we hate
speaking to
them
you.
and the Astros, so it's like a no-win either way in this side.
I would say that the average objective baseball fan, and maybe there aren't a whole lot of those, wants to see Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani in the playoffs. And I would say that most people, and you can put yourself on this list too, didn't think they did nearly enough with their pitching in the offseason. And that's been the story for 10 years at this point. So I didn't expect them to be at this point. I didn't expect them to be 17-10. I didn't expect them to be above 500 even this point into the season. So I'm still a little wary, but I want it to happen because I want Mike Trout to win a playoff game. I want Mike Trout to get to hit a playoff home run. And I know I'm not talking to the right audience for that, but I'm standing by it. I am standing by it. But to your question, as you can tell, I'm not fully buying it yet. I want to buy it, but I'm not. How's that?
No, I mean, right now you look at it and you say, well, if they get pitching with that offense, if Rendon starts to hit like we know he can, Ward is off the charts, Trout's best player we've seen. And then you talk about Ohtani, the brilliance that he is, the unicorn. I mean, yeah, it's just at some point you got to continue to get 27 outs every night. Can they do it? From the athletic standpoint, I hear you got something for me on Big Murph and Pache.
Oh my gosh. I mean, those are just my go-to A's players right now. So I was talking the other day about Murphy, and, in the offseason, we do our top 10 at every position. And this year, when we talked about catcher, we basically talked about how 1 and 2 moving forward for a while are probably going to be Will Smith and Sean Murphy in some order. Murphy, I had 4 this year, but I feel like by next year, Real Muto is having a pretty good year. Grandal has kind of fallen off, but really feels like if Murphy continues to be the good framer that he is for as long as that matters, hitting the ball hard, this is a really, really good player. And I don't think he gets enough love. So whenever he hits a home run, I always like to point it out. And I just think he's a really good defensive catcher. We saw with the Gold Glove. And, this is the youth of the catching position, which I think is worth pointing out at this point.
Yeah, Shea Langolier is the kid that we got in the Matt Olsen trade from the Atlanta Braves. Fran Reardon, our AAA manager, we just had him on, and he said, hey, this guy can absolutely run. He's a terrific athlete and with all the power. And so catching right now, the depth is really good. I want to give you this on Pache because this scares me, Sarah. Pache last 17 games is hitting $125, and he's 0 for his last 18. I know he's a superior athlete, but at some point you have to, and we'll see what he does because he's in the lineup today, but you just can't keep letting him slide into the abyss.
No, see, that's the issue. Part of what I love about him is so much off field, right? The energy he brings. We saw him chatting with fans, opening day, home opener, all play hard for whoever's there, all of that. He just brings an energy. And we saw that when he was traded. He was on social media visibly or, tangibly upset about being traded. And then he said, okay, I'm going to go full force into being an Oakland A. And I just love seeing a player approach it that way. I think he's really real. And I do think he has the potential to get to sort of that 5-tool, area. But as you're saying, lately, not so great. But I like to bring the positive. So I like to bring the overall good, Yeah,
I got to deal with Cody. I got to deal with negative Nancy here all day long. I need some positivity in my life.
Great in defense, outs above average. He's 93rd percentile. That's really, really good. Really good on the base pass, sprint speed, 84th percentile, and hard hit rate. He's in the 80th percentile. So, we know what the issues are, and they're related to that 0 for 18, swinging and missing a little too much, chasing a bit too much. But, I think of Matt Olsen, who is no longer on the team, but basically taught himself to not swing and miss last year. between 2020 and 2021 with the help of that A's coaching staff and his own dedication. And that's a great example of the fact that that can happen at the major league level. Another guy who did that not on the A's would be Austin Riley. And I think that there's no reason that Pache can't be another guy like that who can sort of lock in and learn to change his approach at the plate, because there's a lot of power to unlock there if he can swing and miss a bit less.
Now, you and your mother, well, obviously you work for MLB.com, but your mother is also a huge baseball fan. She's a big San Francisco Giants fan. Mother's Day, what are we going to do for Mother's Day, and does it include baseball?
I don't think it will include baseball because we tend to go to Mets games and they are on the road on Sunday and I have to work. But we'll definitely get some brunch, spend some time, probably watch baseball at home. So that still counts, right? Watch some of those early 1 p.m. Eastern time games. But, we're always talking baseball and, just getting to share that, which I love so, so much.
Are any of our friends, and let's end on this, are any of our friends, and I'm not going to mention them by name, but they all come on this program, are any of our friends over at MLB Network who have just been trashing batting average, just trashing it for years, just kicking it into the ground over and over again, starting to realize that the league averaging around 230 is forget whatever you think about analytics. We're about the entertainment business. We are a part of entertainment. People are scoring more touchdowns in the NFL. People are shooting more three-pointers in basketball. More goals are being scored in hockey. Scoring, entertainment, that's what it's about. Low batting average, not so great for entertainment. Are people starting to come around just a little bit over at MLB Network?
Well, I honestly don't know exactly who you're talking about, so I certainly can't speak for them. But, overall, I think we all want to see guys get on base. We want to see offense. We want to see those things happening. But I will always caution. I know you guys are out on the West Coast where it's nice and warm all the time. It's cold here. It's really cold on the East Coast. Cold, rainy.
I have the air conditioning on today. What do you mean it's cold?
I'm staring outside at rain. We have 5 postponed games. I think 4 on the East Coast and 1 in Chicago today. So I will say the batting average where it's at, I really do expect it to change by, July. It's still going to be lower. It's probably going to be a lot lower than we've seen, 20 years ago. But a lot of times that April and May is pretty different. And again, if you could send some of that weather my way, that would be really, really nice.
Sarah, I swear to God to you, we can't move the cameras where we are right now, but we have the 2 cameras right here to my left in the studio. I have my Toshiba air conditioner running as we speak. It's fancy. Wouldn't you say, Commander? It's a fancy air conditioner that I bought for Commander.
Yeah, years ago. The working conditions here were not up to par.
It was too hot for him. So here we are. You're talking about it's cold. I have the air conditioner on for our new TV studio here.
Oh my gosh. And I'm sitting here in a sweatshirt, indoors in a sweatshirt. So that is the difference between 3,000 miles right there.
That's why you guys need to suck it up, and everybody back there needs to put a retractable roof on all your buildings. I don't care, Yankee Stadium. We're tired of the rainouts. We're tired of rain delays. The rest of baseball's tired of it. I don't care how old and how historic buildings are. Put a dang roof on it so we can play 81 straight games.
I mean, I'm good. I'm fine with it. I think some of these older parks, I don't know if the land they're built on can support a retractable roof. I feel like those things are heavy.
Over Fenway. Just put like a big tent, but just somehow get like a big tarp. Put
like
it
a
over
big
Fenway.
wedding tent, right?
Well, it is so good to have you on the program as always, but more importantly, now that we can see you, and everybody on YouTube and Twitter, everybody will be able to see you now as they get to see you on MLB Network. Of course, reach you at MLB.com. And I always say, if you go top follows in Major League Baseball, no question, no question, are one of the best because of what you bring. It's intelligent. It's great. You can learn, and you love the game, and it shows with your work.
Thank you so much. So kind of you. And thank you guys for having me. Always great to see you. I love the new setup. As I said, this is great. This is just awesome.
We appreciate it. And let's talk soon. You be well.
You stay well. Thank you.
Sarah Langs. Yeah, she is phenomenal when it comes to, she comes to the follow on Twitter. I don't have her Twitter up, so I can't give her a handle.
At S Langs on sports.
Yeah.
S Langs. That's SLANGS on sports.
I look at her. I look at her account every day because she throws some stuff out there like she's researching. Like we think we've got big time research. She's seriously researching. Some of my hits that I do in the game, I get from her. She's fantastic. Coming up next, it's the Mark Kotze Show. You're going to hear from your skipper in Minnesota right here on A's Cast Live.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar are helping us celebrate our longtime home. Last Dive Bar has the most unique merchandise for all Oakland baseball fans. T-shirts, sweatshirts, the Ray Fosse line, and my personal favorite, the lights have taken full effect. Visit their website at lastdivebar.com or follow them on social media at Last Dive Bar. All proceeds are invested back into the A's Community Fund and their affiliated charities. Go to lastdivebar.com. That's lastdivebar.com.
Humanity has accomplished a whole lot so far. We created penicillin, the automobile, and the internet, not to mention drones, duct tape, and the hot dog. It's all thanks to the power of human connections. And Ring Central's here to make that even easier, more seamlessly and securely, on a platform built to grow your business. Say hello to a whole new way to say hello. Visit ringcentral.com and say hello to possibilities. Ring Central. Message, video, phone, together.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is a national brand with family-owned prices and service. You can shop at one of their Barrie locations, and all stores are sanitized and safe, or you can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you'll get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Did you know that with Xfinity Internet, you get fast and reliable speeds? Best of all, you could save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill when you add Xfinity Mobile. Can your internet do that?
Check out our amazing deals on Xfinity Internet and choose from one of our fast speed options to fit your needs. Plus, you could save up to $400 a year on wireless when you also get Xfinity Mobile. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800, visit a store today to learn more. Restrictions apply. Compares pricing of top carriers. Xfinity Internet required.
This is Chris Townsend for the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. Great news! Our indoor dining is back, along with our beautiful patio dining. Come taste our world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 83 years. The Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek has one of the most dynamic menus, plus a full bar. Pot pies, gourmet burgers, sandwiches, salads, flatbreads, and more. Don't forget, we still do takeout and delivery. For all the information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Innovation is at the heart of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students map genes from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
A's fans, there is no better way to stay in touch with the A's and even our players than following us on social media. Just head over to athletics.com/social. That's athletics.com/social for a full list of our social coverage, from player accounts to Twitter handles and more. Now is the time to stay in touch. Head over to athletics.com/social. That's athletics.com/social today.
Some things just go together. Peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk, Oakland and Kaiser Permanente. If that last one caught you off guard, it shouldn't, because Kaiser Permanente has been helping keep Oakland healthy since our very beginning. And as the official healthcare partner of the Oakland A's, that won't be changing anytime soon. Whatever you may need, you can trust Kaiser Permanente to help keep you feeling your best. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Visit kp.org today.
Hey Ace fans, we've got a great deal for you. Get 4 tickets and parking for all Friday night games starting at just $39. Pick from great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more.
Outside corner, ring him up. And Eaton can't believe it.
Grab the crew and head to the Coliseum with friends and family any Friday night this season. 4 tickets and parking starting at just $39 for the whole group. Tickets are available at athletics.com. That's athletics.com.
A's Cast Live continues from the town. Here's Chris Townsend.
Happy birthday to the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. Willie is the oldest living Hall of Famer at 91. I mean, his career, he did everything. There's nothing he could not do. And they've got a great piece. I'll probably do this for my third inning hit. So he had a 13-year run of MVP consideration from 1954 to 1966. He won the National League MVP twice. In fact, he received a share of MVP votes each season from 54 to 66 and finished in the top 6 in 12 of those 13 years, in the top 3 6 times.
It's pretty good. It's really, really good.
Now, what? My camera's not on?
Your camera's not on. I mean, I got the one fixating on you.
Yeah, I got the one on me. Why do I care if you're on?
Well, no, we want to see the set.
Well, so it's no surprise that Mays received annual MVP considerations during that run, recording at least 70 extra base hits. You remember what that is?
What, an extra base hit?
Yeah.
That's when a guy usually
You don't see a lot of them today.
It's usually when a guy has a double or triple or a home run.
70 extra base hits in 13 straight seasons. Nobody has ever done that before.
I don't think well, I won't say ever again, but I don't know the way we're trending. I don't think so.
Someone may never even get a hit again the way we're trending. But isn't that amazing? So happy birthday to Willie Mays, 91 years old. We got the giveaway. That is fantastic.
Yeah, so
we want to showcase for everybody right here.
Yeah, so
right there.
Join us as we celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander heritage at the ballpark on Friday, May 13th against the Anaheim Angels. So see Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout and Joe Madden's club come to town.
Good little players.
Snag an AAPI hat presented by Cal State East Bay at athletics.com.
Got that on the back.
/tickets. Athletics.com/tickets. That's May 13th. Friday, May 13th.
And what is awesome, and I'll try and get this as close as I possibly can, is under the brim is slick. It is a really slick hat. Stop Asian Hate on the side.
Our sponsor on the back, Cal
State East Bay on the back, but the bottom of the hat is sweet. As I said, the red and black, it's like a Tiger Woods on Sunday at the Masters.
It goes well with the red on
How
your
about my
lug nuts.
lug nut shirt? Yeah, that actually, they go together, by the way.
And no, we didn't plan on both wearing green shirts today.
See, it's weird because I reach, but it's opposite of the Lansing lug nuts gear. How about that?
And mine is the lights have taken full effect from Last Dive Bar.
But this hat is sweet.
Yeah, I like
giveaway hat. This hat is fantastic. And what day is that?
Friday, May 13th against Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, Joe Madden, Mark Gubazov.
I'm glad you can look ahead because I'm a day by day. I can only worry about today. I can't worry about tomorrow until tomorrow. I got to worry about today.
You got to win the day today. It's Mark Kotsay's big thing. Win the day.
We got to win the day. You got Zach Logue going tonight. Got to win today.
He already has a major league win. He has more wins he's a starter today, but he has more wins as a pitcher than the Pirates have from their whole entire starting rotation from starting pitchers. That's just depressing. But then again, it could be the Reds.
Oh, yeah. Or the 1988 Orioles.
Or the 2003 Detroit Tigers. Or the 1962 Mets.
I feel bad for Cole Irvin because Cole's kind of coming into his own right now. And to have this happen to him.
Kotsay said earlier, too, with the media, well, you'll hear it in the interview, he told us, but shoulder tendonitis is what they're calling it. So they're hoping that he can make
that's good news.
They're hoping he can make his first start off the minimum IL stint of 15 days.
This will be the only time you hear me give all the, oh my God, we had a shortened spring training. At some point you do get some dead arm. At some point you have some discomfort and you work through that. And really the only thing that's going to help is they do stim. If you can see, they do stim on the back of your shoulder and ibuprofen and ice and, and then you start throwing again and you get through it and the way you go. But it happens, but it's good news that it's just that. All righty. Earlier today, we were able to talk with the skipper because, every Friday you're going to get, this is a change, by the way. We now know every day we're going to have, unless something is an outlier, we're going to have Mark Kotsay on every Friday. Fact.
Usually he told us the same time we're going to talk to him.
Yeah, he's like, hey, we're doing it. Like, it's 9 a.m. Friday. We're doing this, whether he's on the road or not, because, they're 2 hours ahead in Minnesota. They're the central time zone. So he doesn't care the time zone. Townie, 9 a.m. your time, whether I'm here or wherever I am. So it's either going to be at 11 or noon, wherever he is. Wherever it is, 9 a.m., we're teeing it up with Mark Kotsay every Friday.
The only thing we don't have to worry about is the mountain time zone because we don't play the Rockies this year.
Or if it's in Arizona when that weird.
Yeah, that's prior to daylight savings, though.
When does that? Were they like an hour ahead?
That switches in November, I believe. So November through March, there will be an hour ahead of us.
That whole thing's ridiculous.
I don't understand it.
That's ridiculous. All right, here is this week's Mark Kotsay Show. It's now time for the Mark Kotsay Show, brought to you by Nest Bedding. Check out their locations in the Bay Area, or you go online, nestbedding.com. Love where you sleep. Use the coupon code Oakland to get 10% off your entire order. We're talking your bed, your sheets, bedding, pillows, you name it. Go to nestbedding.com and use the coupon code Oakland. Kots, how we doing today?
Doing well. Just, good morning in Minnesota. And prepping for a game tonight.
Well, that's one thing when you go to Minnesota, they've had this secret sauce going. They're a tough team, and boy, can they hit the ball.
Yeah, they can. They've obviously got off to a good start. They sustained a big injury for them last night, though, in Carlos Correa. So, we're looking forward to this series. We're on the road now, and obviously it's not easy when you're going up against a good Twins ball club, but we'll be prepared.
It's not easy for anybody to lose one of your best players or a lot of players or have guys go on the COVID list. And obviously with Ramon Lauriano going to be coming back on Sunday, you're now getting past that 36 player mark. What has that been like you so far to have to use so many different guys, and yet, you're trying to keep that same message with the entire club?
Yeah, it's been a challenge. There's no question with, I saw something in the paper and I haven't kept track of it, but I think there's, with Ramon coming back, 38 players that we've used up to this point, which is a ton of players. But, we did send that message in spring training that it was going to take an army this year, that we were going to utilize everyone in that room. And I think so far, just about everyone that was in spring training at some point has reached our roster, had a chance to come here and experience what it's like to be a big leaguer. So far I think they've handled themselves very well. And the message is still, hey, we're going to compete to win, and we're going to compete to win each day. So.
You had to deal with the COVID list. Now it looks like you're going to have to deal with an injury with Cole Irvin. How is Cole, and what's his status going forward?
Yeah, so Cole had some shoulder, soreness, I would say is the right word, maybe tendonitis. His bullpen session before we left town wasn't great. We had him looked at. He did get an MRI, which came out pretty clean. So Cole, unfortunately, is on the IL now, so he'll have to be on the IL for 15 days. That's new this year, reinstated as it has been in the past prior to COVID. So we've got an opportunity for another young kid to come up and fulfill a role tonight. Zach Loke, who pitched in our bullpen and has had his first major league win while he was with us, but he'll get the start tonight here in Minnesota.
Yeah, there's no question you're utilizing that 40-man roster.
Yeah, we have. We definitely have utilized the 40-man roster. We've brought some guys up, some young kids that probably, when we broke camp, thought my message may not be real. Mickey Mcdonald saw some time here in the big leagues, and so through this process, we're starting to get to evaluate some of the younger talent here and get our eyes on them.
When I think about Ramon Lauriano, you could just see it in his eyes down at spring training. I mean, he's ready to rock. I mean, this is a guy that, it's not a cliche when you say he plays with a football mentality. He is a tough guy. I mean, for God's sakes, he challenged the entire Astros dugout at one point. Absolutely love Ramon Lauriano and the way he plays. Just what's that going to mean for your club, bringing him back, because he's truly one of your leaders?
Yeah, he is. And, as you talk about, Ramon has patiently been waiting to get back to our ball club. He's been through his rehab assignment now in Vegas. And if I know Ramon, he's probably just asking if he can fly here just to be with us before he, has this opportunity Sunday to return to the ball club. But yes, anytime you get a veteran player with some experience, with some history, and as you talk about, with the passion to play the game, being away from it, I'm sure he's going to come in Sunday as excited as anyone in this clubhouse to just be a part of this group again on an everyday basis and to contribute to the team's success.
I've had people ask me, like, well, what do you think they're going to do with him? Like, oh, he's going to play. Because the last thing you want is Ramon sitting next to you on the dugout during the game, right?
Yeah, that's probably true. I know as a player myself, I didn't particularly care for days off, and I probably bothered or annoyed most of my managers when I would sit on the bench as well. So, but Ramon, no, you're completely correct that Ramon's going to want to be in the lineup every day, and we'll manage that. Obviously, he's been, rehabbing and building his endurance, but at the same point, we do have to be somewhat cognizant. It's a long year, and Ramon, coming back to us will need some time to just get his legs underneath him and get used to the grind of the big leagues again.
It's a good problem to have when you got these bats that you want to get in the lineup, but there's only so many spots in the lineup, and you start looking at, you got Pinder, you got Piscotty, Ramon coming back, Pache. How do you see the outfield shaking out?
Yeah, as we talked about, we're going to utilize the rotation as best we can, and hopefully we can get some of these guys hot and get them to, as we talked about a little bit, hitting's contagious. So you get one or two of these guys swinging well, and you look forward to hopefully it continuing throughout the lineup. So getting Ramon back, having, as you talk about the outfield, it's a little right-handed, but we do have Seth Brown that we can utilize out there as well. So, it's a good thing that we can extend this lineup with another bat, and hopefully that'll help contribute to our offense.
All players are going to struggle. Everybody's going to have it throughout their career. You got to learn to work through it. You got to learn how to get out of it. And Pache obviously is struggling right now. How do you handle the young outfielder? Because you always want to still keep their confidence up.
Yeah, no doubt. And we focus on a lot of the new verbiage, I guess you could talk about, the swing out of zone percentage, the swing in zone percentage with Pache, and he's done a decent job of controlling that. We look at his exit velos and his hard hit contacts to identify, kind of where we can turn his focus to and what we do need to encourage or to work on for Pache. And we're going to continue to grind on that. Our hitting coaches are doing a great job. Our analytic group is helping alongside just in getting us this information that we can, really focus on an area for Pache to to become the type of hitter that we feel he'll be successful with at the major league level.
Yeah, this is the problem with baseball. It's a game of failure. You are going to fail. And obviously, everybody at this level has the physical talent. It's like sometimes you guys got to be psychologists because you got to work so much on the mental side with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I look at my career dating back into college, and I used a gentleman named Ken Revisa from the mental side of baseball. I came from the Harvey Dorfman School as well. So, there's a lot to say and to learn about those processes and how they'll help you through the challenges of the everyday grind. I think I don't know another sport that plays 162 games, as consecutive as we do. And as you talk about, the greatest hitters in the game hit at a successful rate of 30%. So it's a challenge to keep positive, to stay positive. But that's what we're here for, as a coach, as a former player, with the experience of going through those ups and downs of a season. You have to continue to send that message that, tomorrow's a new day or today's a new day, and you've got a chance to go out and have success.
As we talk about how hard it is to play the game, it's also hard when everybody's talking about you. And every single time you go out there every 5 days, like Frankie Montas, if you throw the ball well, next there's all these articles that, you're going to get traded. You're going here. You're going there. What do you think that's been like for him so far? I got to imagine that's not easy. It's got to be a little unsettling.
Yeah, it can be. And we talked about that in spring training as we went through, the guys that were part of the core being traded. And it's really, in my mindset, it's let's worry about what we can control and not what we can't. And so I think on Frankie's end, he's done a fabulous job of just setting his mind that he's an Oakland Athletic, and that all the other rumors and the trade talks are out of his control, and what he can control is his preparation, as you talked about, to pitch and be ready every fifth day to give our ball club the best chance to win and have success. And he's shown that up to this point this season. And, the performance he had for us on Wednesday, as I talked about it, after the game, we just, you hate to let that performance go and not give him an opportunity to get a W out of there. He gave us one, and we just didn't come through for him that day.
Ever since AJ Puck was taken out of Florida, you knew that this guy could really be something special once he is healthy. We're truly starting to see it. I mean, when you're in the dugout and you're looking at how uncomfortable these hitters are at the plate against him, do you get that? Do you start thinking of all the different ways you possibly could use him? Because he's really starting to become a weapon for you.
Yeah, I think, again, we have to be patient with AJ. This is his, opportunity. He's taken advantage of it from that standpoint with the performance. I think the best thing that we did was Scott Emerson and AJ made the adjustment to getting him over on the first base side of the rubber. I know, as a former player facing left-handed pitching, a guy like Randy Johnson that was on the first base side of the rubber, when the ball starts out behind you, it's more than uncomfortable. It's darn right scary, right? So, AJ's adjustment has been great. His mindset, day in and day out, which is a conversation AJ and I had out of spring training, my expectation level of AJ. And I really think he's taken it to heart, and you can see that in his performance as he goes out and takes them out.
Let's end on this. What do you think about 4 days in Detroit and playing 5 games during that time?
Well, now that you mentioned it, Tony, it's going to be a difficult task. I don't recall playing 5 games in 4 days and having the grind that we're going to go through. And it's actually more than that, because we come home to a doubleheader against the Angels on Saturday. So if you look at the big picture, I think it's 15 games in 13 days. We're going to have to utilize our pitching in a manner that keeps everyone, hopefully healthy, and we get through this in a positive manner. That's the outlook. But we'll take it one day at a time and build on, hopefully some momentum going into that series. But like you talked about it's definitely a lot of games in a short amount of time for us.
Great stuff in Minnesota, then Detroit. Good luck, and we'll see you next week back in Oakland.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it.
And that's the manager of your Oakland Athletics, Mark Kotze, earlier today talking with Tony. Now, the Twins lineup is finally out, and their number one prospect, Royce Lewis, will make his debut tonight and hit 7th in the lineup for the Twins. So that'll be exciting for Twins fans. The A's lineup will be Sheldon Noisy, Jed Lowry, Sean Murphy, Stephen Piscotty, Chad Pinder, Kevin Smith, Elvis, Pache, and Tony Kemp. That rounds out the A's lineup for today. They're looking to end a 6-game losing streak. They haven't lost 7 in a row since 2017. Let's see if they can end this skid tonight in the Twin Cities versus the Bomba Squad.
All righty. You just went over the lineup?
Yeah, and said that Royce Lewis is making his debut. So
does that do anything for anybody?
Probably not, but it's exciting to see a top prospect play. But we got like less than a minute, so just wanted to throw that out there. That's what's going on in Minnesota, or as I say, Minnesota.
We've got A's Total Access brought to you by
Chevron.
Coming up here at 4:10. Who are we going to hear?
You're going to hear from Ray Fosse and Bert Blyleven.
Ooh, I remember that. That was good. Was that the one we did with him?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, that was good.
A lot of stuff on curveballs and starting. We're going to play throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
Vince Catronio has Where Are They Now with Jack Cust. Jessica Kleinschmidt is talking to Amelia.
Can you see me roll my eyes on that one?
And you also hear from Fran Reardon as well, giving you updates on Ramon and Shea Langoliers.
What's Jack Cust doing these days?
I don't know. Who knows? But you'll find out starting at 4:10 on Ace Total Access.
I have so many Jack Cust stories.
We don't have time for them. But
he was such a peach. He was a peach. Hey, Jack Cust. Whatever he's doing, I bet he's looking.
Well done.
And on that note, everybody have a great week, and we'll be back in just a little bit with A's Total Access. Thank you for listening to A's Cast and watching A's Cast Live.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar